Evening guys, welcome to Supercar Life UK. Just popped out this evening for a bit of a drive. It's a lovely evening for March time. Hopefully we're due to get some good weather soon. Just wanted to do a video. I saw the Stradman do a video the other day of the modifying costs of a supercar. So there are lots of modifications out there for Audi R8s obviously. Probably not as many as you would expect obviously for a day-to-day car. But there are some, a few of which I've done already. So just wanted to really sort of talk you through the modifications obviously that I've done, the cost of them, and yeah, I mean how much you can do and go through is pretty crazy really. So I've just been watching the car the whole time on the video there. But yeah, essentially, just sort of run through the costs of what it costs to modify a supercar. Okay, so I'm going to come off the camera now because I keep staring at the car. Unfortunately, as I've said before, the colour of the car just doesn't show up on the videos. But it's in the evening. This kind of light, it really standds out loads. On the video, it just looks like a pale yellow, but in real life, it really stands out. So, first of all, I'll talk you through the modifications that I've done. So, first of all, wheels. Now, wheels are a bit of a funny one. I mean, in that the standard wheels, you've got an 8.5J front and 10.5/11J rear with a 295 tyre. So, obviously, they're not going to be cheap. To buy a modified set is you know, it's how much you want to spend basically. So the wheels that I've got on mine at the minute are Riverside or Traffic Master wheels. They're custom made in Japan. They were made for a Ferrari 430, so the PCD is different. So first of all, I had to buy some adapters. They were about £150. The wheels themselves, as I say, they were custom made, and they actually came in at 7,000. Now obviously I didn't pay that for them because I paid, they were second hand, but they were bought by a Premier football player for his 430, and then they were sold on to myself at a lower cost, shall we say. But yeah, so I mean, you know, you could spend anything from, I guess, 1,000 up to, well, obviously up to 7,000-8,000, however much you want to spend basically. So again, fair chunk more than a normal set. So a couple of modifications that I've made. So wrap, let's talk about the wrap. Now, Wrap and Tint Worx did my wrap for me, and they've done obviously an awesome job, and it's an incredible look. The wrap, the material itself, we had to import from Europe. It's very difficult to get in the UK. Some suppliers can get it, but obviously they have to order it in themselves anyway, so we ordered it directly from Europe. I mean, for a wrap, you're talking anything from sort of 1,500, I guess, roughly, up to anything up to 5,000-10,000. It really depends, you know, if you go with the chromes and, I mean, the speciality vinyl. I'm not going to go into how much I paid, but it wasn't the cheapest of vinyls, to say the least. But obviously it serves a purpose, the reason for doing it as I have done. So yeah, so that's another one. So for myself, I have got the carbon mirrors which I've put onto the car. So these are genuine Audi modification. You can see, so genuine carbon with a black stalk. So these mirrors, if you want to buy them, they will come in at around £2,000 direct from Audi. So £2,000 for a set of carbon mirrors, which is pretty crazy, to be honest. On eBay you can get a set probably for around about £1,200. That sort of seems to be pretty much the going rate. Mine were from eBay, but again, I'm not going to go into obviously how much I spent. So another modification, albeit that it's a factory modification, are the side blades. I've got carbon fibre ones on mine. Some cars did not come with a carbon fibre, they went with the standard option, so normal coloured, body coloured, silvers and blacks. You can buy again on eBay a genuine set. You're probably looking in the region of around about 1,500 for a set of blades, carbon blades. A little bit more if you want to try and get the V10 versions with the extended width to them and the larger vent. But these are genuine Audi piece. So let's see if we can see. There we go. So you got nice carbon fibre on there. Okay, so on to some more body modifications. So the spoiler. Now the spoiler itself is a GT style wing. Again, if we come in here, so carbon fibre, genuine carbon fibre with carbon fibre base plate and the stalks themselves. So this wing was from German Rush UK, so check them guys out. I'll put a link below. They supplied me with the spoiler. For retail for one of these, you're looking at around about £2,000 for the whole kit. Personally, I think it makes the car look incredible. It just adds that extra sort of balance, if you like, to the rear of the car. So I went with that option for sure. So coming around the back, so let's talk about exhaust modifications. So exhaust wise, there are quite a few out there. Now most people tend to go with just the back box, cat backs. You can go obviously for a full system, but this is going to set you back some amount. It is an engine out job in order to fit the manifolds onto the system, onto the engine. So it is a quite hefty job. So the labour itself runs into very, very high. Whereas with the back box side of things, you need to strip most of the rear of the car, which you saw in my previous video, and yeah, it takes a fair amount of time to do that. But the sound you can get from just doing a back box is pretty incredible. Price wise for exhaust, so mine is the tubey style exhaust system. So again, retail you're looking at 2,600 for the back box. If you want to go for a full system, you're probably talking near a sort of 5,000–6,000. If you look at something along the lines of Capristo, again just for the back box, which is ECU controlled similar to the Army Trick system, you're talking around about 5,000 or 6,000 just for the back box with the Capristo system. So just going to come around and get on the camera here. So yeah, so just for the system with a Capristo, you're looking at around about 5,000 or 6,000, probably nearer sort of 8,000 or 10,000 if you're looking for the whole system fitted. So it's a pretty hefty modification. Something which you can do with the R8s, with the V8s and the V10s, is you can look at doing a turbo conversion. Now you've got to get your really serious wallet out for this one. You're probably talking in the region of probably between 15,000 and 20,000. I mean, horsepower wise, pretty much the sky's your limit. You can go up to 1,000 horsepower, 1,500 horsepower, but obviously that requires a huge amount of work. It depends whether you've got the manual or the R-tronic or S-tronic gearbox, depending on the year that you've got. So quite a lot of cost in that one. Styling wise, so obviously I've spoken about the spoiler that I've gone for. There are body kits on the market available which range anything from a couple of £100 for a lip spoiler up to about £18,000 I believe for the full Pride design system, which is bumpers, wings, side skirts, bonnets, roof scoops, the whole lot basically. So you're talking about 18k for that. So all said and done, similar really to what the Stradman was saying about you can quite easily spend the car over and over again in price wise. R8s nowadays you're looking at about 40–45k, so they're reasonably well priced for what they are. But you can spend that and probably twice over just purely modifications. You'd end up with a serious bit of kit afterwards, so it would be well worth it. But yeah, I can't help but stare at the screen here, so it's a bit of a strange video I guess, in the fact that I'm not actually looking at you guys, but I'm kind of just staring at the camera and just working out whereabouts I am in the scheme of things, rather than actually looking at the camera itself. There we go, I'll do that. So essentially that kind of really sums up the modifications. You've got obviously wheels, suspension. Actually I didn't cover off suspension. So the car comes with either standard suspension or you have the mag ride system. I don't have the mag ride system on mine, which is something that I looked specifically not to have. Basically it just has loads of problems, and it's about 1,800 quid per shock if you want to replace them, so it is probably a bit of a shock if something goes wrong with it, literally. So I went through a system without that system, if that makes sense. Looking at suspension wise, there are companies out there that do sort of coilovers and such like if you want to go down that route, but to be honest, the suspension's pretty good. It doesn't really need to be modified or played with. Obviously you can tweak the ride height and such like if you want to, but personally I think it's pretty good as it is. So yeah, so suspension, wheels, obviously styling, body kits, spoilers, exhausts, all sorts that you can possibly go for. And as I say, you can spend tens of thousands of pounds. I've obviously spent, if you want to add it up, a fair chunk of money so far. Not really got any plans at the moment, possibly some side skirts and maybe a front lip. I'm in talks with a company at the moment about supplying me one of them, or a set or pair or whatever you want to call it. So hopefully they should be coming soon. I'm probably going to go for the either gloss black or carbon, keep the carbon theme going, but the carbon that they have is a different weave. It's the square weave rather than the swirl weave, so I'm not too sure if it will fit in, so may just stick with the gloss black to tie in with the wheels and the detailing on the roof and that sort of thing. So that is basically my video as to what it costs to modify an Audi R8. I've spent some of the money. You know, eBay is your friend when it comes to this situation. If you want to go full retail, then you're going to end up spending thousands and thousands and thousands, which obviously I have, but not as much as I could have done. And I think so far I've got a pretty damn awesome car for it. Last weekend went out for a long drive, well, about 80 odd miles, with a couple of friends. Another guy who owns an R8 V8, which has got the Capristo system on it. It cost him just under £5 grand, I believe. And it is a serious bit of kit. It sounds incredible. Very different sound to mine. His is just very loud, whereas mine is relatively loud, but it's just got a beautiful sound to it. There's not many people around, so I might give it a bit of a blip now, just to show you guys to finish off the video. But hopefully you've enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Cheers. Hi guys, just got back in the car. I really shouldn't laugh at this, but I'm gonna. There was a guy walking past with his little girl who was riding a little bike in front of him, and he was just staring at the car, walking along, and actually tripped over the bike and the little girl and actually fell flat on his face, just because he was staring at the car. Luckily the girl was alright, but I think he got up, brushed himself off and walked on. But it was seriously funny to watch. I'm really gutted I wasn't filming. I was actually considering getting in the car and doing some filming, but yeah, unfortunately I missed it. But yeah, I mean, that's the kind of attention the car gets. People staring at it the whole time. It's a pretty random moment of people staring. So yeah, just wanted to add that at the end.